Hello world, this is Talkin Live. Okay, today I want to get into, well, first I want to talk about maybe the debate last night. I thought that Vance did a pretty good job, and I thought even, Waltz or whatever his name is, I think he did a pretty good job, but I disagree with him. And I mean, this basically the whole thing is this way. Everybody's seen what's going on without they got their head in the ground like an ostrich. And, there's no use keep banging, without, banging a comma or banging Donald Trump. We know them. We know what kind of woman that Kamala is. We know what kind of policies she has by listening to her and seeing the last, nearly 4 years, what she's done for the country. We can see all that. There's no use to keep on going on about it. I don't like her. I think that if she really had any leadership, people, today, it's frustrating for everybody to always, just every time they turn on the TV, busting this, busting that. It should be all one thing, taking care of the country. I don't care if you're Trump or who you are. You should concentrate on taking care of the country. That's what democracy is. Being, letting everybody have a say. And if it's not right, don't do it. I can't believe how divided we are over race, politics, and all that. And people get mad at one another because their choice. If you choose Kamala, that's between you and God and what you want to, you feel like you have that freedom to do that. Now, I do recognize the debate last night. Vance was talking about how the administration in power now wants to control the media. They don't want nobody to say nothing against what they do. They think everything they do is perfect. But then they'll go after Donald Trump for everything he says. But this is my view right here today. We all in one country. And this one side wants to destroy it and the other side wants to make it better. Well, that's the way I see it. And I didn't think that Vance didn't say nothing too much about how the money's going for the immigrants. He did say the housing and them coming over here is driving inflation up, and he's right. Of course, the other guy, he didn't see it that way, but it's a fact. See, that's what I just hate. I hate to be in between. Somebody don't like me because of that, my opinion or way I feel. It's just the way I feel about issues. I don't like the idea that kids can get a hold of guns. I don't like the idea that somebody can come in and at a gun show and you know, not really get checked out. I don't like the ghost guns. I don't think they should be able to make the ghost guns. I think people that apply for a gun needs to be checked out, and I ain't talking about 5 days. They need to have to wait 30 days. I mean, if they're going to get, you know, they need to get checked out. I mean, within 30 days. I mean, you should be able to know what kind of person they are. And see, you can't predict a person's temper anyway. You can't predict someone that gets angry. And like the show I said here a while back, drawing the line. You can't predict a person that's getting angry at their wife or whatever, or a kid or whatever. You can't predict what spirit will overtake them and them come out and shoot up a school or shoot up a post office or whatever. You cannot predict that. It's impossible. And if you take away all the guns, the criminal's going to always have the guns, which I'm definitely against taking guns away. I mean, if you had a machine gun in your house or whatever you have, if you can control yourself and you're not a sicko, it shouldn't even be against the law. Because some of these guns are fixed and manufactured where you can make like a AR-15, you can kind of make it a machine gun. AK-47. I mean, I'm familiar with guns. And, that's what I mean. I'm just bringing this up, and I'm going and putting this together as far as guns concerned. Guns are a dangerous item to have, but they need to be put up out of the reach of children. If you are not living in such a high crime area, I think that you need to put the gun in a way that no kid can get to it. Now, I'll go along with that. Now, when it comes to abortion, I don't believe in abortion no matter the situation, but the situations that are happening today, everybody excuses it up. I mean, I heard them say, like, this girl was 12-year-old, she got raped, got pregnant, and they aborted her baby. Well, if to save a murder, maybe you could ask, let's go ahead and have the baby and adopt it out if you don't want it. I mean, there's a lot of babies dying today, could maybe come and be a great president, a great person that are being aborted. They could become a great person. Of course, they could become another Hitler. And there's no way in this world that Donald Trump's like Hitler. It's just a Democratic tag they want to put on Donald Trump. But, I mean, there's a person in Hollywood. I like him. Our conversations have been nice. He doesn't disagree with my politics, but, I don't change my feelings for him. I don't change my thought. If he promised me something, I expect him to do it. If I promise him something, I expect him to do it. And I really got a crazy family that interfere with my life and tries to tell me what to do. I I'm 76, but I got my own mind. I know when I screw up or when I make the mistake. I don't have to have nobody pay for my mistakes. I pay for my own mistakes. And see, people, they want to put things off on somebody else because of their mistakes. Harris's, she didn't think, probably didn't imagine that she'd ever run for president. So she done nothing worthy to be president for the people. I'm telling you, from the beginning of the administration, things have gone to hell, and if you can't see it, you're about the blindest and dumbest person I ever seen. And you cannot keep printing money and making money and spending money, because like last night they're talking about the deficit, and how they're going to collect all these taxes. They're going to do this. They're going to give everybody a free ride. You know, there's nothing wrong with giving people credit. There's nothing wrong with it. But give them a credit to buy a house, and then they ain't got a job and they have to lose the house. You can't give somebody a credit and take their jobs away and expect them to pay for the house. If I go buy a house, the bank asks me for my taxes. They ask me for up to date of what I'm making a year or a month. But the way they're talking, you can just get a house and get a credit. So much credit, get a house. You don't even have to have a job. We'll take up the slack. Taxpayers, they're paying all this money. We'll take it up. You know, there's a hole you can dig so low that you can't get out. This, you know, you take a man digging a hole, you get so deep, and maybe somebody's up the top pulling the bucket up, or a way to get get the dirt out as he digs. And the man up at the top just keeps letting it down. He fills it up, brings it up out of the hole, dumps it. Okay. And that man just say, well, I'm tired of doing this. You're down in that hole. You dug down, and there ain't no way in the world the man can get out, because he dug his hole so deep. And he depended on the guy up at the top to, help him out. And see, that's what Kamala, she's depending on all these taxes to give away, knowing all the time that we're going down the drain because of energy. That's what started the whole thing, cutting off the energy and just destroying the economy with, these things. I mean, you can't have biodiesel. That's ridiculous. And then buying the oil from different countries, with us having our own reserves, getting rid of our strategic oil supply. I don't like to keep on about it. I get sick and tired of watching it. I get tired of Trump. I get tired of Biden. I get tired of all of them. I'm sick of all of them. We got this way because of the crookedness and the not caring both sides. This is why we're where we're at right now. Don't care about American people. Knowing that we have a deficit of all that 30-something $1 trillion and open the border up, start taking care of other people and letting American people go. That's what Harris has done. She started digging that hole, her and Biden, and they kept digging it deeper and deeper and deeper. And the ones up at the top kept pulling up the dirt, and they got deeper and deeper, and then they stopped pulling the dirt up. And now they're stuck in that big old hole and can't get out. That's what's going on with America right now. Even if Donald Trump does get in the presidency, I wouldn't want his job. It's so screwed up, I wouldn't want his job at all. I'd be glad to be a part of it to help American people, but as far as being in charge of all of it, I wouldn't want it. But my show today is where I want a lot of you people to comment on our YouTube channel or any place you find us. I want you to comment. We want to know you're watching. And you know, I got a comment. This man, he was really cursing me out and called me everything, and it just broke my heart. Made me feel so bad. Made me want to cry. But it did bother me that a man can use GD and curse like that. He can't give me a statement without having the GD in his mouth and FUCK in his mouth. He cannot have a conversation and tell me he just don't like me. He don't like what my politics. He don't like it. That's all he had to say. And I would say, that's your right. That's your right. Now, we're running advertising for people for a whole month free if they have their own production. We want Talkin Live to get out there and get out there and let people over there, you know, and we want to better our shows. We want to make everything better. I was watching me and Quentin Aaron last night. That's when we was just barely getting up and running. And Quentin, if you're watching, we really appreciate it, and I still love that song. It was a great song. And if you ever come back, I promise you I'd come meet you if the Lord will, if I'm alive, and you come around this way, and I'm going to come see you like you invited me to. You know, I lose a lot of movie stars because what my opinion is. I lose. They're all ready to do a show, and then they'll cancel right at the last minute. I lost one famous woman on account of people prying into my personal business. I mean, it would have been a great honor to have live in the studio. And it's still open for her if she ever wants to do it. It was all a bunch of drama for nothing. And the fact is, I think I lost a contract because of that. But, you know, I was, you see, I'm 76 and I'm still going. I can afford a suit. I can afford a TV station. And I can always, as long as I can talk on the phone, I can always get business. I always have. I talk to people overseas. A lot of times we have to tell one another the same thing 10 times. We finally get it through. People from India, I have a lot of issues with. Sometimes I had a Chinese friend, and one from Taiwan, and one from South Korea, and we get into it sometimes about he has to repeat himself, and I have to repeat myself, and you know what? I get along with those people better than anybody. I mean, there's people down in Florida that I used to go to dances, and there was all kinds of races, all kinds of people, African Americans, Spanish, Italians. I mean, all kinds of, people. And we danced, and we all was respectful for one another. I never seen nobody have a shootout. And I'm telling you, I went to a lot of places. Because you know what? We was all there to have a good time. We wasn't thinking about the color. We wasn't thinking about the race. And see, that's what's divided this country. The Democratic Party has divided this country on race. I'm going to tell you, if you're black, you wouldn't have ever got free if it hadn't been for the Republican Party. And don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, when my uncle used to belong to the Ku Klux Klan. Try to get me to join, I wouldn't do it. I don't believe in the size of the people look because of their color, their skin, or where they come from. I might disagree with them, and I'll tell them in a nice way. And, you know, I never get into politics with any movie star or actor or actress that comes on our show. I never get into it. Never do that. We done a show with an Iranian, and it was going great. I mean, we was doing it direct from Iran, and we was connected, and we was talking to a guy. He was a doctor. He was a hip-hop singer, a rap singer. And I asked him some things, and he got offended. He thought I was trying to get into politics, which I wouldn't. And he requested me not to show the show. And I did. I don't disrespect nobody. I mean, I had a text from Alex Baldwin told me our politics was a lot different. I told him, well, our politics and our friendship don't have nothing to do with it. And that's the way I believe. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that Democrat, but there's some things I don't believe in the Republicans do. And they was talking about, last night on the debate, they was talking about housing. You take any state, any city they have these properties that's run down, and they try to auction them off and get a little out of them. Why not give it to someone that will that is working hard, and give them some cash money to help fix it up. Make sure that that's what they do with it. Don't let them have the option to spend it anywhere else. Let them have one of these houses that the state, the city, or the county is repossessed because of not getting taxes not paid off, and they're sitting and they're rotting down, like in Detroit. All in Chicago, this big city, you got all this property, and you know what the housing problem is? It's because you tax people to death. They can't afford a house. But the government is not responsible to supply everybody a house. And as far as these tax credits, nobody ever sees any difference, because you stick it to them and something else. We're going to cut your taxes, but we're going to raise them on something else. This county in, I seen where they want to go up 30% taxes. That's some wimp politician in our government here in this city. Don't know nothing about survival. There's one thing Vance said last night: common sense. People don't have common sense no more. They done lost their man. I just don't. I mean, like I seen on the news the other day, this lady, she was an African American. She said she's going to vote for Harris, but she said the economy is terrible. It's so high and so expensive. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why don't you in Hollywood, a new news reader, look at what's best to a country, not what you think about the person running. You get mad if people don't like, they don't like Harris, but she's not qualified. She's not done nothing for this country. Biden ain't done nothing for this country except give away money. Bring all these immigrants in here, fly them in here, your tax dollar, buy oil from other countries. We got all this oil in our oil, cleaner than the oil all over the world. Why is it that you have to give other countries money instead of spending it in this United States? What is your reason? Are you scared of these countries? Do you see any of these countries swarming this country with help for these hurricane victims? No, you don't. You don't see England. You don't see none of the UK. You don't see a lot of these countries that we support and defend. You don't see none of them coming to our people to help our people in the hurricane. But you got idiots over here that want to go to Ukraine and defend Ukraine. Is Ukraine sending anybody over here to help Americans in this hurricane? we have a big earthquake, we have any disaster, we don't get no help from any other country. Now they can have a shortage of toilet paper and they'll give them $1 billion to buy the toilet paper overseas. They would. They don't follow the money. They don't know where the money goes. They don't have nobody to follow the money, like this $1 billion they give for Iran. We're going to make our air out of this show. This idea of giving them $1 billion knowing all the time that they're always trying to kill our soldiers. They're always trying to destroy America and Israel. How about somebody come flying in on a little helicopter and come in and shot all of your family and killed all of your family and raped your wife and all that? What would you do? I get tired of hearing about what about Israel. You know, would you like to live in a bomb shelter all the time? Everybody in Israel has a bomb shelter. Would you like to live like that? Your enemies all around you hate you because you're a Jew. Would you like to live like that? Ceasefire. Netanyahu is a great leader of Israel. He's a great leader of, he don't take crap from nobody. You know why? He believes in God. Now I don't know, he believes in Jesus Christ. If he don't, he ain't nowhere. But he does believe in God. There's a God. And he's living in the old Bible. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You know, it's a shame people lose their lives, but from any country, any race, but they're always building it up. These leaders are always, why don't you Arabs, won't you make a deal with Israel and work with Israel? What if all the nations started hating the Arabs and despise them because they was born by the bondwoman? And everybody wanted to kill them all because of their race. It'd be wrong, wouldn't it? Black people. If all the whites wanted to kill black people, would it be wrong? And what happened 150 years ago don't count now. Now counts. My knowledge of different countries, different cultures, came from a business that I owned for 20, 30 years. More like 30 or 40. I understand everybody's feelings. That's why I can sit down, no matter where you're from, what race you are. I can sit down and I can talk to you, and I can be kind to you, and I respect you. Because you have your own culture, you have your own ways. But there's no justification for you hating another race. There's no justification. And see, that's what the debate was all about. America and the whole world. Biden, you're letting the whole world come here and aid us. Take care of your own people before you get to take care of. God requires us to help other countries and do that. But we are the richest country in the world because God made us that way. You didn't make it. He loaned this riches to us. You know, Talkin, all of you, Elon Musk, you just got a loan. That's all you got as a loan. You're gonna die and leave it all. And after a while, everybody just forget all about you. Well, maybe he was a smart man, but you get around the more. A lot of movie stars dying young. Everybody wants to make good money and have good money in a career that they're working. See, I got this problem. I get high-minded and I come up with so many different ideas, make money, but they ain't but one of me. I can't do it all. And I'll tell you what money I make, a lot of times I give it to those that need it, not those that would take it and throw it away. I've given money, thousands of dollars to people, and them just waste it. Walk off and leave it by my house. Or, just have my car or something like that, and they just didn't appreciate it. Took it and sold it. Bought drugs with it. Bought alcohol with it. Got drunk and destroyed it. Wrecked it. There's one thing about me that people don't know. There's so many things I've done wrong. But I got sick of it. And I left it. Good Lord, I didn't leave it. And I didn't leave it because I was scared of going to hell. I left it because he died on the cross for me. And he took care of me all these years. And I dropped dead before I get out of this studio, but I guarantee you, I've been paid good for all the wicked things I did in some cases, but I never got paid enough for what I've done in time. God forgive me. Sometimes we have to pay for what we do. And that's what the biggest problem in this country is. It's so divided. They think they hate one another, and everybody dies, goes to heaven, and they can be stoned, drunk, doped up, and take a gun, blow their brains out, and you still see what happened. Not true. No drunkards and none of that stuff. There ain't gonna be no politicians in them either. You don't watch it. You politicians, you ain't got no free pass. I've invited politicians to come to the studio and the preachers. There's two people that won't come to talk to me in the studio. That's politicians and the preachers. They won't do a show with me. I have one, Rick Talon, he's a good man. He done a show with me. But the rest of them, You invite them, they don't come. You know why? They don't like me because I don't like the way they take people's money. And of course, the ones I'm talking about, though, I mean, there's a minister named Mike Larry. He's a good man. As far as I've known him 34 years. And that man, he takes care of his members. His people call him and hungry, he don't have nothing to eat. He's got him like a store in the bottom of his church building. And buddy, when people get in a need, buddy, he's there for them. Good man. I mean, we disagree on some things, but he's still a good man. He loves people. He don't care for a Democrat, communist, or what they are. If they're on the side of the road in the ditch, he'll pick them up and take them home and fix them up. And I know this man for years. There's another man who used to work for me, he just turned 90-year-old. And I never seen him mad one time. He's a good man. He used to be a mean man. Lord got a hold of him. That man got mad at me one time. He worked for me for years. I put him in charge of business, and he kept raising the price because I was giving him a percentage of it. But he would I said, you can't raise the price. But I did. I gave him a percentage, and he would jack the price up so he could get more. I said, you can't do that. I love the man. I mean, he lost his mind completely, but he's getting a little senile. He had a birthday. He just turned 90-year-old. His name is David Turner. People might know him. I worked with him for years, and his fruit was delicious. What I'm saying is, I knew him by his fruit. And every time he needed anything, he always called me. And he got it. He's a loyal person. He used to take stuff out of my business and say, oh, I forgot to tell you, Lamar, I took this so-and-so TV over home with me. I forgot to tell you. I said, so you stole it, huh? No, I'm telling you about it right now. But there's some good people in this world, Democrats and Republicans, but it seems to me there's more people today that wants to hurt one another. And they think they're doing like the debate, talking about giving all this credit away and giving up. I mean, it's good to give credit. There's nothing wrong with having employees when they get that they have sick leave. Well, I mean, a lady that has a baby, she needs to be with that baby for a while. I mean, to take care of it. She can't just walk off and leave it. I agree that they need to be. But I agree on a lot of things that Trump says, and I disagree with some things he says. I agree with some of the Democrats, but it's very little because you want to blow our money, like, get away. You want to put us in a worse shape we've ever been in our life. That you done got us in a mess. And the Chinese, the South Koreans, they're making all the solar panels here. I sold my building to it. Chinese was making air conditioning units, but it's in the United States. But this solar panel is a great thing, but it's not a great thing when it puts people out of work, puts people out of income, puts people out of a place to live, puts people in a situation they have to pay a high dollar. And you know, that's what I go by. I don't go by, I go by the works that it's in Washington they do. Now, I heard Georgia said you can't drive a car when you get 70-years old. They always try to take your license away. Are they going to send somebody to bring you groceries? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. When you give them a test, I mean, you give a license. Georgia, the state of Georgia, gives license out to elderly people without even making them going back and taking the test. I mean, yeah, I just online get my license. How do you know they're not capable of driving to the store if you don't give them a driver's test ever so often? If you give them 10 years, I think I got 10 years before I had to get my next license. And now they're trying to say that you've got to give them up when you get 70. Well, I'm 6 years ahead of 70. And why should I give my license up as long as I'm driving? Now, I might drive out of the lot and run over somebody but it won't be because I'm old. I can still see good. I ain't the greatest. It's that you're in the department, but I can still hear good. I can hear somebody blow a horn at me. Let's put that way. Let's say there's just stupid stuff like that. I mean, our governments, state, cities, Washington, D.C., I think you just sit back and see how you can stick it to the poor. And like I told people, you know, that I know maybe not working in Hollywood, I said, well, if Kamala keeps draining all these people, they won't be able to buy a ticket to go to the movies. It's going to hurt you too. You keep draining the American people, they won't have no money to spend on movies. They won't be able to buy, they won't be able to go on the stream and pay for it. They won't be able to go to the movie theater and sit and take their girlfriend or boyfriend to the movie theater. You won't get nothing out of that when you start draining these people. It's going to hurt you. Well, it's going to hurt the cable system because people don't want to pay that high price. It's going to hurt everybody. If you keep taking and giving, you're taking the taxes, you're giving it. I just don't get it. I mean, if I got $50,000 I have to pay out a month, I mean, I only have $10 coming in. How am I going to pay it? All these restaurants are shutting down. All these businesses shutting down. Every time I look on the internet, there's some chain shutting down. But that's Bidenomics. economics. Biden economics. People can't get the right insurance because you can't get together and put it together because you're too busy spending the money that should go into Medicaid and giving it to somebody that don't deserve it or here illegal. And I mean, what kind of miracle is either one of our two supposedly running president? What kind of miracle do they have to correct the mess that's already here? You know, these people need to be dropped back over the border, take them back over the border, and take them, say, now, we open up so many other years, you can come and try to get. And as far as asylum, and that they're afraid of the violence and all that stuff, that violence right now is in South America, and all these other countries are coming here to reap havoc, to reap havoc on American people. And I know a real big-time lawyer. Been a lawyer for a long time. He's Democrat. And he worked there, and he's still my lawyer sometimes. And I mean, he thinks it's great. But he's getting in my years. The time will come, and I tell you this over and over in every show that I basically do. When you pull up the stop street down in Brazil, Campinas, Americana, I mean, all those different towns down there, you look and make sure ain't none coming, even if it's a red light. You make sure ain't nothing coming. If ain't nothing coming, you better run it, because there's liable to be some gang that's going to rob you, kill you. That's coming to America if you don't put a stop to what's going on right now. And it's going to be hard to do. If for anybody to say that Donald Trump is the cause of all these immigrants over here, is the biggest lie out of hell I ever heard. It didn't start until Biden got in office. Now, if you don't come be my guest on this show because you're for Biden, that's on you. But when I do a show, it's about you, me, what you're doing, what you're going to do. I don't care if you vote for Jack Rabbit running for president or you vote for Putin be president. When you come to a show, it's about you and about what you got going on, what's happening. And if you can't get past, because I believe that we're in a mess and it's going to be worse if we don't change the administration, don't come. My TV station don't depend on you. But I really love to have a lot of you that promised to come. You stand me up. I'll get ready. You say you're coming. You're going to do a show. I mean, some of you, big time. Some of you are well-known famous people. You have promised me to do a show. And because of my politics, you have wimped out on me. It ain't about politics when you talk to me. I mean, if I had a Republican in here, I'd ask him a lot of questions, and I'd tell him what he should have done too. But see, if you're promoting something, you're a movie star, wherever you are, it's about that. It ain't about politics. And if you don't like me because what I stand for, you'll find out in the future that when you take away people's money and lifestyle, when they've been here and had freedom all these years, and you try to take that away, you are going to lose. Everybody's going to lose when you try to take away the First Amendment and all the different amendments that it's wrote. You're going to lose. This whole country is going to lose. This country right now is on the verge of being destroyed because of bad politics and no spine. Our leadership has no spine. They're too busy concentrating on destroying the country by their stupid ideas. You bring in the solar panels, but make these suckers that make them here. Quit giving our strategic oil away, selling it to China. What you did, Biden, you sold to China a bunch of our strategic reserves. Don't buy no oil from Venezuela and make that sucker, that dictator, richer. He's stealing it from the people, like you are right now. I'm a friend to everybody, but I ain't gonna stand and let somebody tell me it's raining and you're peeing down my neck. Bye, everybody.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin' Live presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin' Live TV broadcast studio, or by this channel or its management.